Welcome back to World Coins History. You've heard the saying, old is gold, but these rare state $quarter coins that are worth more than you might imagine. Before you watch entire video and comment if you find one of these. Who knows? Your next treasure could be hiding a fortune. Let's dive in. Top 1. Today, we're diving into one of the most iconic and fascinating pieces of American history, a coin that celebrates a monumental milestone in the United States. I'm talking about the United States $quarter minted from 1776 to 1976, but especially the rare and special Bicentennial Quarter that has captured the hearts of collectors worldwide. If you're passionate about coins or just love stories behind these tiny pieces of history, listen closely, because what I'm about to share could change the way you see this humble quarter forever. Now, the story behind the United States $quarter is truly a journey through time. While the quarter itself has been around since 1796, the Bicentennial Quarter was issued in 1975 and 1976 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of American independence. Instead of the usual eagle on the back, these quarters feature a stunning design showing a colonial drummer, a vivid symbol of patriotism and the fight for freedom. This coin doesn't just represent money, it tells a story of courage, unity, and the spirit of a nation. But here's where things get really exciting for collectors. Among the millions of bicentennial quarters minted, there are some exceptionally rare versions and minting errors that make certain coins incredibly valuable and highly sought after. Imagine finding a quarter that looks ordinary at first glance but holds a secret that could make it worth thousands. One of the rarest variations comes from minting errors such as double dies, where the coin's design appears doubled or blurry in certain spots. This tiny mistake creates a unique look that collectors absolutely love. There are also some quarters with off-center strikes, where the design isn't perfectly aligned with the coin's edge, creating a striking and unusual appearance. These errors are accidental, but they create one-of-a-kind coins that can skyrocket in value. Another key factor contributing to the rarity of some quarters from this era is the mint mark. Quarters from certain mints, like the San Francisco Mint, are rarer, especially in high-grade conditions. And when you combine a rare mint mark with a minting error and flawless condition, you're looking at a coin that's truly one of a kind. Condition plays a huge role too. While millions of these quarters circulated and show signs of wear, finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition is increasingly difficult as time goes by. For collectors, the better the condition, the more valuable the coin becomes. Now, I want you to imagine holding one of these rare bicentennial quarters, shiny, perfectly preserved, and maybe even with a fascinating mint error. How much do you think such a coin might be worth? Here's the jaw-dropping truth. Some of these incredibly rare and flawless bicentennial quarters have been known to fetch up to $78,000. Yes, you heard that right, $78,000 for a single quarter. That's the power of rarity, history, and a little bit of minting magic. So, if you happen to have a United States bicentennial quarter tucked away in your collection, or if you stumble upon one at a garage sale or thrift shop, don't overlook it. It might just be worth a small fortune. Top 2, we're shining a spotlight on a truly remarkable coin, the United States $quarter honoring the legendary Maya Angelou, released in 2022. This isn't just any quarter, it's a powerful tribute to one of America's most influential voices, and it's creating waves in the coin collecting world. If you think all quarters are the same, think again. Listen closely, because the story behind this coin is as fascinating as the woman it honors, and the value might just surprise you. So, settle in and get ready for a deep dive into rarity, minting errors, and jaw-dropping worth. Maya Angelou was more than a poet and author, she was a beacon of strength, resilience, and wisdom. When the U.S. Mint introduced this quarter as part of the American Women Quarters program, it was meant to celebrate her incredible legacy. The design captures her spirit perfectly, with a beautifully detailed portrait that speaks volumes about her impact on American culture and civil rights. This coin is more than currency, it's a piece of history. Now, millions of these quarters were minted, which might make you think their value would be just face value. But for collectors, the story gets much richer. You see, within this large batch of coins, there are some rare gems, coins with minting errors and unusual characteristics that instantly make them stand out. And it's these variations that can skyrocket the coin's value. One type of error that collectors are hunting for is the doubled die. This happens when the coin's design is accidentally stamped twice, creating a doubled or shadow effect on letters or images. For the Maya Angelou quarter, spotting a doubled die means you have a coin that's incredibly rare and highly desirable. Another type of error involves misalignment, where the design is off-center or shifted, giving the coin a unique look that can't be replicated. But there's more. The mint produces these coins at different facilities, like Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Some mint marks are rarer than others, especially on proof coins. These are coins struck with extra care, with a mirror-like finish and sharper details. Proof versions in perfect condition are limited in number and extremely sought after, especially if they have any of those rare errors or unique features. Condition is key when it comes to value. Most Maya Angelou quarters you find in circulation will show signs of wear, which brings their value close to face value. But a coin that is uncirculated, flawless, and with an error? That's a collector's dream. Graded by professional services, such coins can be certified for their rarity and condition, adding serious credibility and boosting their market value. Imagine owning a Maya Angelou quarter with a perfect finish and a rare minting error. How much do you think that could be worth? Well, the most extraordinary specimens have been known to fetch an eye-popping $53,000. That's right, $53,000 for a single quarter released in 2022. This staggering value reflects the power of rarity combined with historical significance. Maya Angelou's legacy, immortalized in this quarter, plus the thrill of owning a unique error coin, makes it a prized possession for collectors and investors alike. So, if you're out there with a Maya Angelou quarter in your pocket or tucked away in a collection, take a closer look. Check for mint marks, examine the details, and if you spot anything unusual, don't overlook it. This coin could be more than just a keepsake, it could be a gateway to a valuable treasure. Top 3. We're diving into an extraordinary piece of American heritage captured in metal, the United States $quarter known as Crossing the Delaware, released in 2021. This isn't just any quarter, it's a powerful tribute to a pivotal moment in American history, immortalized in stunning detail on a small, but mighty coin. If you think all quarters are just pocket change, think again. Stick around because this particular coin holds secrets and surprises that every coin lover needs to hear about. Trust me, this story is worth your full attention. The Crossing the Delaware quarter is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, a series that celebrates iconic landmarks and historical moments across the country. This 2021 release depicts General George Washington's daring and bold crossing of the Delaware River on a cold winter night during the Revolutionary War, a turning point that helped change the course of history. The coin's design is a beautiful tribute, capturing the determination, courage, and hope that defined that crucial event. It's not just a coin, it's a miniature work of art and a piece of the American story you can hold in your hand. Now, millions of these quarters were minted for circulation, but what makes some of these coins incredibly special are the rare variations and minting errors that can turn an everyday quarter into a prized collector's item. For serious collectors, spotting these anomalies is like uncovering hidden treasure. One of the most sought-after errors on the Crossing the Delaware quarter is the infamous double die. This error causes parts of the design, often letters or numbers, to appear doubled or shadowed, creating a striking visual effect. It's an accidental flaw in the minting process, but it makes that coin instantly rare and highly desirable. Another fascinating error involves misstrikes or off-center strikes, where the image isn't perfectly aligned on the coin blank, giving it a unique look that can't be duplicated. In addition to errors, the mint mark and finish of the coin play a huge role in its rarity and value. Coins minted at certain locations, like the San Francisco Mint, often come in limited quantities, especially proof versions, which are struck with special care and have a mirror-like finish that collectors crave. When you combine a limited mintage, exceptional condition, and any minting error, you have a recipe for a coin that's worth much more than face value. Condition is king in the coin collecting world. While many Crossing the Delaware quarters you find in circulation will show signs of wear, a coin in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially one with rare errors, can command a hefty price. Professional grading services can certify these coins, further boosting their credibility and value in the market. So, how much could a rare, error-filled, mint condition crossing the Delaware Quarter be worth? Here's the exciting part. Some of these exceptionally rare and flawless quarters have been known to fetch up to $50,000. Yes, $50,000 for a single quarter that commemorates one of the most courageous moments in American history. This incredible value shows just how powerful history, rarity, and a little minting accident can be when combined. If you happen to own one of these rare quarters, or you come across one in the wild, don't overlook it. It could be a ticket to a small fortune. Top 4. We're turning back the clock to explore a fascinating and sometimes overlooked gem in the world of American coins, the United States quarter dollar from 1988. If you think that quarters from the late 20th century are just common pocket change, think again. There's a lot more to this coin than meets the eye, and if you're a collector or just curious about rare coins, listen very carefully because this story is full of surprises, rarity, and, yes, potential value that could blow your mind. The 1988 quarter might seem like just another coin from a busy year at the US Mint, but for those in the know, it holds a special place. Minted during a period when millions of quarters were flooding the market, this coin is a fascinating example of how small errors and limited variations can create something truly extraordinary. And make no mistake, there are collectors out there who would pay top dollar to get their hands on the rarest versions of this very coin. Now, let's dig into what makes the 1988 quarter so special. One of the biggest factors driving its rarity is minting errors. Among these, double die errors are some of the most sought after. What is a double die? It's when the coin's design elements, such as the letters or numbers, appear doubled or shadowed due to a misalignment during the minting process. These errors are relatively rare, and they make the coin stand out dramatically in any collection. Another fascinating minting flaw seen on some 1988 quarters is the missing edge reading error. Normally, quarters have those tiny ridges along the edges, called reading, but on some rare 1988 coins, this feature is missing or incomplete, making the coin highly unusual and incredibly desirable to error collectors. Then there are off-center strikes, where the design isn't perfectly centered on the coin blank, giving it a unique and unmistakable look. Beyond errors, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. Many 1988 quarters are well worn from years of circulation, but finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition can be quite a challenge. Collectors prize coins that look as close to brand new as possible, especially if they have any of the rare errors we just talked about. Professionally graded coins with high marks can command significantly higher prices because buyers know exactly what they're getting. Mint marks also add another layer to the story. Quarters minted at Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco can vary in rarity and desirability, especially if they come with unique characteristics or errors. For example, proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are struck with extra precision and are far less common than regular circulation coins, making them very attractive to collectors. So, why should you care? If you own a 1988 quarter, or if you come across one in a stack of change, it's worth a close look. A rare error or exceptional condition could mean that you have a coin worth far more than just 25 cents, and here comes the reveal you've been waiting for. Some of these rare, error-filled, and perfectly preserved 1988 quarters have been known to sell for as much as $58,000. Yes, that's $58,000 for a single quarter from 1988. This staggering value proves that even coins from more recent decades can hold incredible worth when history, rarity, and minting quirks come together. It's a reminder that every coin has a story, and some stories are priceless. Top 5 and last rare coin, we're diving into a fascinating piece of American numismatic history, the United States quarter dollar from 1973. Now, at first glance, a 1973 quarter might seem like a pretty standard coin, something you'd find in your pocket or the bottom of a drawer. But trust me when I say, there's a lot more to this coin than just its face value. If you're a coin lover or just curious about rare coins that hold significant value, then listen very carefully. This story is packed with intriguing details about rarity, minting errors, and, yes, some eye-popping potential worth that might surprise you. The 1973 quarter was produced during a very interesting time in U.S. minting history. It was a period of significant circulation but also a time when errors and unique varieties started catching the attention of collectors worldwide. Millions of these quarters were minted, so you might think they're common and of little value. But here's the catch: within those millions lie rare variants and minting errors that have turned ordinary coins into extraordinary collector's items. One of the most famous and sought-after aspects of the 1973 quarter is its minting errors. One such error is the double die variety, where parts of the design, especially the inscriptions or dates, appear doubled due to a misalignment during the minting process. These double dies are incredibly rare and instantly recognizable because of that distinct shadow or doubling effect, making them a prized possession for error collectors. Another error that elevates the 1973 quarter's value is the off-center strike. Imagine a coin where the image isn't perfectly centered. Instead, the design is pushed to one side, sometimes cutting off parts of Washington's portrait or the lettering. These off-center strikes are unintentional mistakes but are highly prized because no two off-center errors are exactly alike, making each coin unique. Then there's the missing reading error. Normally, quarters have those little ridges on their edges called reading, which help prevent counterfeiting. Some 1973 quarters were minted with partial or completely missing reading, a rare flaw that turns an everyday coin into a collector's treasure. Condition plays a crucial role here as well. Many 1973 quarters have been well circulated over the decades, which diminishes their value. However, coins that remain in uncirculated or mint condition, especially with these rare errors, can command incredibly high prices. Professional grading services certify the condition of coins, giving buyers confidence and adding significant value to rare finds. Mint marks also factor heavily into rarity and value. Whether the quarter was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco can make a difference, especially if paired with an error or exceptional condition. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint, struck with extra care and with a mirror-like finish, are much rarer and highly sought after. So why should you pay attention to this coin? If you own a 1973 quarter, it's worth a careful inspection. Look closely for any doubling on the text, misaligned designs, or unusual edges. A rare error or pristine condition coin can mean you have something far more valuable than just 25 cents. Now for the big reveal. Some of these rare, error-filled, and perfectly preserved 1973 quarters have been known to sell for as much as $64,000. Yes, that's $64,000 for a single quarter. This incredible value shows how history, rarity, and those tiny minting imperfections combine to create coins that are not just currency, but real treasures. It's a reminder that sometimes, the most unassuming coins hold the biggest surprises. Thanks so much for joining me today on this deep dive into the fascinating world of the 1973 United States quarter dollar. If you enjoyed this video and want to discover more amazing stories and rare coins, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. You never know when your next valuable find might be hidden in plain sight. Until next time, keep collecting, stay curious, and happy hunting.